as well. I feel like Bournemouth are there for the taking. They're really not playing particularly well at all. Dane Scarlett through the middle again. I think he's going to be offside. He does turn and finish. The linesman's flag, however, is up. We were in the race for automatic promotion for a long time last season, but Bournemouth were one of the two teams that pipped us to those two automatic promotion spots. So we're going to take on Bournemouth in episode 68 of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory career mode here on E68 24, and we are going to jump straight into the action. We're going to go with a 3-1-4-2 this week. Chance for a couple of new signings to make an impact. Dane Scarlett in particular, he's performed well for us in simulation, so we are going to run him out as one of our two strikers today alongside Josh Sargent up front. I would like to use this third kit, but I think it's not different enough from Bournemouth's home kit to justify it this week, so we're going to go with the white away kit. Arthur Armstrong continues as part of a back three alongside Jesse Cartwright and Caleb Taylor. Billy Mumba and Josh Key are playing those wide positions for us, and then a midfield three of Matthew Garbutt, Caceres Jr. and Jamie Shackleton. So we should be solid in the centre of midfield with those three central players. And we should have a bit more firepower going forward in this game compared to that 4-0 defeat at home against Manchester United in the last game. Not a great performance, that one. And it is one we want to put behind us as quickly as possible here. So hopefully we can do that today against fellow championship promotees, AFC Bournemouth. We are at the Vitality. So a fairly ambitious and forward-thinking formation away from home. But I think that's the approach we need to take in this game. We need to be beating the likes of Bournemouth if we are going to stay up this season. Teams in and around those relegation spots, we need to be getting results against. We can afford a 4-0 defeat against Manchester United. We're not going to be competing with them directly in the league this season. Bournemouth, we almost certainly are, and that's a bad challenge early on. We almost certainly are going to be competing with Bournemouth. We are just a point above them in the table as it stands, as the referee shows Mir Dink a yellow card. And I imagine we're probably not going to be in these positions come the end of the season, but I could certainly see us being, you know, back-to-back in the table with Bournemouth. So important that we start bright, that we attack, and that we try and score some goals. Billy Mumba looking to do just that on the left-hand side. Josh Sargent and Dane Scarlett in the box. Dane Scarlett still not giving up the cause. I'll be interested to see Dane Scarlett today. All we've seen from him really in games that we've played have been brief cameo appearances off the bench. We haven't played a game in which Dane Scarlett has started yet. So we'll have to see how he does up front. I think he'll particularly thrive alongside Josh Sargent. Josh Sargent, a big, powerful kind of target man up front. Dane Scarlett with the pace to run off him. Caleb Taylor does well to send the Bournemouth attacker out wide and blocked by Caceres Jr. Another new signing who has made a decent impact for us so far. He's a defensive player, so he's not going to impose himself on a game too much going forwards. You know, he's not going to get the goals and assists that truly indicate he's made a real impact on the game, but it's balls like that, and it's being a solid anchor in front of the back three today that have made him a useful player for us early on in his Redmont career. Jamie Shackleton, of course, played for us last year, so we'll be hoping he can make the same kind of impact as he made last year. Josh Key just trying to play Josh Sargent in, but cut out by the Bournemouth defence. And cleared away eventually by the goalkeeper. Won comfortably by Caleb Taylor in the air. And we've got a couple of players over, one of whom is Caceres Jr. Barley Mumba picks the ball up after the fairly fortunate deflection. And just drives towards the Bournemouth back line. Ball falls to Josh Key at the back post. Couldn't find a pullback. Barley Mumba somehow kept it in. He would have been better off letting that go out for a throw in there. Last time we played Bournemouth was in the Championship, and it was a really good victory for us in the end. And Josh Sargent is in there with an overhead kick, and he scores! What a goal from Josh Sargent! And he doubles his tally for the game. Doubles the Redmont Rangers lead. Makes it 3-1 with a spectacular overhead kick. Caleb Taylor it was with the initial header. Just looped up into the air. And Josh Sargent, with 2 Bournemouth defenders in the vicinity, performs an acrobatic finish. We put in a fantastic performance on that day. Josh Sargent scored a spectacular goal. And we thought for a while that that could potentially be something that really solidified us in the race for those automatic promotion places. But in spite of the victory, Bournemouth did end up pulling away from us, along with Sheffield United, to secure those 2 automatic promotion spots. Good challenge by Jamie Shackleton. Fairly uneventful opening 15 minutes or so. We've probably had the better of the opening exchanges, but no real clear-cut chances yet. No real shots on goal even. Ball pass there. Barley Mumba just needs to sit back a little bit in those situations and get himself in a position to receive the ball initially. Dane Scarlett could press high here. We're forcing Bournemouth back towards their own goal. And Josh Sargent can continue the press. Well dealt with, though, by the Bournemouth defender. And Barley Mumba's just about going to have the pace to get there. And he's too reluctant to make a run on that occasion. He was too high up the pitch the first time. Wasn't high enough up the pitch the second time. Struggling to find his position in that left midfield role. Dane Scarlett's going to shoot. Deflection off the Bournemouth player out for a corner. It's actually going to be a free kick. Must have been deflected by a hand. And that's right on the edge of the penalties box. And Caceres Jr. is in position to shoot on goal here from the free kick. It's right on the edge. He's going to do well to get it up and down over that wall. But it looks like we're going to be able to aim for that top corner. And hopefully just curl it just over the wall and into that top corner. Just over 3 bars of power. Caceres Jr. and it does bounce off the wall. Josh Sargent is in there. Goalkeeper claims, though. It was always going to be difficult from so close to the penalty box there. Not quite enough distance between the ball and the wall to get it up and then down again. Decent effort from Caceres. It was on target at least, but blocked by the wall. Nice little ball from Josh Sargent, looking for Josh Key, and he does find him. Have to find some space to dig out across, which he manages to do. Josh Sargent is in there, heads across goal. Linesman's flag stays down, and it is 1-0 Redmont Rangers. And Josh Sargent is on the score sheet in the Premier League. It was his ball initially that set Josh Key away on the right-hand side there. Just kind of lifted it towards the near post, and the Bournemouth defender just not close enough to Josh Sargent. Although it was a narrow angle, if you allow him a header on goal from there, he's going to put it in. And that's exactly what Josh Sargent does. Decent start to the game. Outside of that free kick, it's been our first real opportunity from open play. And Josh Sargent puts it away. 1-0 Redmont Rangers. Good interception from Josh Key as well. Couldn't quite get the attack underway immediately there. Wanted to just launch a quick break. But nobody was in position to receive the ball from Josh Key. Caleb Taylor ventures forward from his spot at the centre of defence. Finds Josh Key. Pulls it back towards Josh Sargent. Good save by the goalkeeper this time. Dane Scarlett keeps it in. He probably should have let it go for a corner. Really well worked there. Caleb Taylor played a lovely ball up towards Josh Key. And Bali Mumba is in space on the left-hand side now. And again, he doesn't come to meet the ball. It's a great challenge from Jamie Shackleton. Bali Mumba just needs to sit in there and pick the ball up. He's in acres of space. But right now, he's just allowing the Bournemouth defenders to nip in and steal the ball away. Perhaps we need to set him to come short because he's just sitting high up the field at the moment and allowing the Bournemouth defenders to get to the ball before he does. Here's Caleb Taylor on the ball again. And again, Josh Key's making a run up ahead. And again, Caleb Taylor finds him. It's going to have to be Dane Scarlett this time as Bali Mumba actually at the back post. Chested down by the Bournemouth captain. Really composed play there. Caceres competes for it in midfield in the air, but doesn't win it, and Arthur Armstrong has allowed the Bournemouth attacker past him there. Went for the challenge, didn't win the ball. And Bournemouth driving towards our box for the first time. Jesse Cartwright deals with it. Alexander Bobek clears. And Dane Scarlett nips in there and nicks it away. Jamie Shackleton now. Dane Scarlett couldn't pick up a position to receive the ball from Jamie Shackleton. Did well to steal it away initially, but couldn't link up with the former Leeds man. Big switch of play over to Caleb Taylor, who's played a surprisingly significant role in attack so far today. And here's Bali Mumba on the left-hand side. Finally comes to collect one. Gives it straight back to Bournemouth. He's had a very poor half, Bali Mumba. He's not been good at all. He's given the ball away. He's allowed the Bournemouth players to steal the ball away from him too often. He's not made any impact defensively. He's usually so solid and reliable, Bali Mumba. Great interception from Caceres there. Matthew Garbutt getting the start ahead of Alex Lowry today. Caleb Taylor again finding himself in an advanced position. Cannot find Matthew Garbutt there. He's been quiet so far, Matthew Garbutt. He very much is competing with Alex Lowry for that more creative central midfield role. So he's going to have to impress today if he's going to get a start in the next game. Alex Lowry has the edge on him at the moment, and Dane Scarlett just needed to let that go. We just can't quite get it going today. The intention there was to play the ball through that gap to Bali Mumba, who was certainly onside. Dane Scarlett wasn't, and he just needed to allow that ball to run past him and allow Bali Mumba to pick it up instead. A little bit of miscommunication, not just on that occasion, but on a number of occasions in this first half. Ball from Arthur Armstrong. He does recover though. Loose touch from the Bournemouth player, and Armstrong just clears. Straight to a Bournemouth player though, and they can begin their attack once more. It's a game that really I feel like we should be more comfortable in. I feel like we've been by far the better side, but oh, that's a great move to skip away from Bali Mumba. I feel like we've been the more comfortable, we've been the more dangerous side. As the Bournemouth player dribbles it straight out of play. But we just haven't quite been able to impose ourselves on the game quite enough for my liking, and likely for the liking of Hans Newman as well. I feel like Bournemouth are there for the taking. They're really not playing particularly well at all. Dane Scarlett through the middle again. I think he's going to be offside. He does turn and finish. The linesman's flag, however, is up. And it's actually Jamie Shackleton, the centre midfielder, burying it with a lovely finish on the turn. He was clearly offside. Did well to just turn 180 to receive the ball initially, and then complete the 360 as he finished. That's why I thought it was Dane Scarlett. It was such a composed and technical finish. Dane Scarlett does link up with Matthew Garbutt, though. Dane Scarlett's on the edge of the box. He's going to strike across goal, and he is going to bury it. 2-0 Redmont Rangers. Great finish from Jamie Shackleton, and both of our strikers today are on the score sheet. Dane Scarlett doubling the lead just before half-time. The Redmont Rangers fans not particularly pleased to see Dane Scarlett on the score sheet, but I'm sure Hans Newman is. I certainly am. Really good finish from Dane Scarlett. Goalkeeper very, very close to saving it. I think Scarlett just about put it in the only place the goalkeeper couldn't reach it. Tucked it just inside the post. And that's a really, really good time to score just before the break. Just as I was saying that we haven't quite imposed ourselves on the game enough. Now I am feeling more comfortable. 2-0 lead at half-time is more than acceptable in this game, I would say. Bournemouth, of course, a team that were better than us last season, but we've added to the squad. Players within the squad have developed. We've changed, obviously, the system that we are playing for this particular game. And we look a class above Bournemouth, I would say. So I think we're just going to drop into our defensive game plan for the opening 10 or 15 minutes or so at least here. Just to secure this lead for a little bit longer. So that, I believe, means we're dropping into a 5-4-1. Although I could be wrong. I might just check real quick. Yeah, it is a 5-4-1. I do need to move some players around here, though. Actually, no, I don't. That's absolutely fine. So, a system that we're a bit more used to with that flat back 5 and the flat midfield 4 as well. Barley Mumba's going to get into the box here. Viserys Jr.'s on the edge. Can he get a shot at goal? There isn't space at the moment. Space opens up for him, though. Looked like the goalkeeper was going away to his right. And how is that not a pass back? The Bournemouth defender clearly just passed it back to the goalkeeper there. So I think we can just protect this lead in this second half. We don't need to get too ambitious and venture forward looking for a third. Although the next goal, if there is one, Alexander Bobek claims really well. Right on top of the Bournemouth striker. If there is another goal in this game, it is going to be a very, very important one. If we score it, the game is over. If Bournemouth score it, they're right back in it. So we can't get too defensive. We can't get too conservative. I want to sit in defensive for now, but 10 or 15 minutes or so, I might go back to just our default game plan. Barley Mumba almost giving the ball away again there, and Arthur Armstrong rather, does well to get there. Barley Mumba selling him short. He's had a really, really poor game, Barley Mumba. We can allow him the odd poor game. He's been very good for us in general since we've signed him. Another loose touch there. Jesse Cartwright picks it up, though. Bournemouth starting to press higher up the pitch now. They are beginning to chase the game. We've done well to hold on to the ball there, though. Bobek just looking for Josh Sargent wide right. Right, instead finds a Bournemouth player, and Bournemouth can launch an attack here as they approach our box. We do have players back in this defensive game plan, though, so I believe I have changed the defensive game plan now as well. It was set to counter-attack for so long, but I believe I have changed that, so we're no longer in the drop-back instruction, which is just so destructive. Players just drop back to the edge of the 6-yard box and make no attempt to press or challenge or do anything remotely useful defensively. And we're just defending well and getting rid here. Approaching the hour mark in the game. Oh, and Dane Scarlett presses well, forces Bournemouth into a mistake. as they try and clear the ball but find only Josh Sargent. Caceres Jr.'s on the edge of the box, but it's a poor pass. He'd begun making a run into the box rather than just holding that position. And again, another slight miscommunication between Caceres and Dane Scarlett it was that time. I think we'll make some changes next time the ball goes out of play. I think I'll bring Ismail Assar on as one of those wide players in our flat midfield 4. We have players over on the right-hand side here. One of whom was Dane Scarlett, but there was a bit too much on the header. Potentially we could have taken it down there and just played it behind for Dane Scarlett. Probably would have been the better option. Game's getting a little bit sloppy now. A little bit scrappy. Both teams turning over possession fairly frequently at this current time. Caleb Taylor lunges in. And again, Bobek's just going to clear. He does find Matthew Garbutt on the left-hand side here, though. He couldn't find Josh Sargent on the right a few moments ago. Dane Scarlett can't quite bring it down. It's a decent idea from Matthew Garbutt, but didn't quite come off. Does nick the ball away, though. And can he take on the Bournemouth defender? He can't. Good challenge. Good aggressive play from Matthew Garbutt, though, and he wins it back once more. Really good challenge. Again, poor from Barley Mumba. We're going to have to get him off. Kieran Tripper's coming on. Barley Mumba's given away the ball every time he's touched it so far today. It's been the worst performance of his Redmont Rangers career by far. It's not even close. I can't remember Barley Mumba ever performing this poorly. And Bournemouth are back in it. We said the next goal is going to be important. Bournemouth are back in it. 2-1. Decent enough goal, but we defended poorly there. And we are in trouble now because we've not really been able to impose ourselves in the second half at all. We had a really good first half, but I think that goal just before half-time made us a little bit complacent. We thought we could come out and just ride out these next 45 minutes. That doesn't seem to be the case. So let's make a couple of changes. Let me just double-check this defensive game plan. We are still in counter-attack and drop back, so I still haven't changed that. Right, so kick and rush. Pressure on heavy touch is fine. We need to sit a little bit higher than that. Right, so after this game, I am absolutely, definitely 100% going to remember to change that because it's been that way for too long. Samson Tavile can come on up front. Barley Mumba can come off for Kieran Trippier. So a triple change. I think we are going to continue with the defensive game plan, though. I think now that we've changed that defensive tactic, we should be okay to sit in the defensive game plan for the remaining 20 minutes or so. Ismail Assar already in behind. He's only just come on. Cuts in onto his right foot, just like we wanted to. Good challenge from the Bournemouth defender, though. Jesse Cartwright caught out of position, but Caleb Taylor does well to put in the challenge. Jesse Cartwright's on the right-hand side now, though. Poor pass up towards him. He did well just to get something on it and prevent it from landing at the feet of a Bournemouth player. Flicked all the way over to Kieran Trippier on the left-hand side. Ismail Assar now. Again, cuts inside onto his right foot. Cuts back out onto his left, though. That's where the space is on this particular occasion. Lifts it into the box. Caceres Jr. cracks it against the bar. Almost a goal for the new Redmont Rangers man. Would have been his first goal for the club. Would have made it 3-1. And would have made these last 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so a bit more comfortable. Very good attempt with the header, but hit the bar. Jamie Shackleton does really well to turn away from the Bournemouth attackers there who were pressing. Caleb Taylor across to Arthur Armstrong. Again, there's space on this left-hand side. Kieran Trippier it is this time who's going to drive. Ismail Assar it is. Again, cutting in on his right-hand side, but too many Bournemouth defenders there. Kieran Trippier doesn't have a lot of pace. He's going to have to give this Bournemouth attacker plenty of room so he doesn't get caught out. Ismail Assar is going to get there. He's got too much pace. Caceres Jr. inside. Samson Tavide's made a good run. And I was just about to say kept himself onside. That must have been so close. I was convinced he had kept himself onside there. I don't think we're going to get a replay because the substitutions interrupted it. That must have been so close. Samson Tavide does pick the ball up on this occasion, tries to find Josh Sargent, but he's just blocked off by the Bournemouth defender. We're going to press high here. Oh, the Bournemouth goalkeeper really struggling there. Couldn't find an option, just has to lump it out of play in the end. And Ismail Assar was in a good position there. I tried to throw it to him, but Preston A just skipped that little cutscene. Ismail Assar tries to bury it. Smashes it into the side net and saw the goalkeeper starting to come off his line as if he was looking to get to a cross early, so I just tried to slip it in past him at the near post, but we got it all wrong. Good pressing by Josh Sargent. The referee is saying that it was handball in there. I think they're going to get the free kick for it. Not sure how you can give handball there. Bournemouth's player just smashed it against Josh Sargent from point blank range. So about 10 minutes left to go in the game. 2-1 lead for Redmont Rangers. Just looking to hold on to it. 3 points over Bournemouth. No matter how narrow the victory, is going to be a good result, especially away from home. And there's going to be a throw in to Redmont. I think we are going to make our last couple of changes here. Caceres can come off for Alex Lowry. And I think I might just bring Lewis Baker on in midfield as well, just to give us the freshest legs possible in that all-important area of the field. So Shackleton and Caceres both coming off. Both played very well today. Both put in really solid defensive performances. Caceres Jr. and Shackleton, to be fair, have both ventured forward. And each have come close. JB Shackleton actually put the ball in the back of the net. He was offside. Alex Lowry's going to shape from range. It was green time, but it was blocked. Caceres Jr., of course, hitting the bar as well. So, both had good games. Josh Sargent drives, lifts the ball into the box. Ismail Assar's going to bring it down. Can he get a shot on goal? Not at the moment. He's surrounded by 3 Bournemouth defenders. And again, they put in a really good challenge. And managed to take the ball away from Ismail Assar. He's going to try and win it back high up the pitch, though. Good pressing from Redmont Rangers as a team. Bournemouth doing really well to play out of it, though. We'd put them under some real pressure there. Samson Tavide just trying to pin them deep as well. Alex Lowry getting in on the action. Really good job from Redmont Rangers, just keeping Bournemouth pinned back in their own half rather than allowing them to venture into a dangerous position. And they just can't find an option in our half, Bournemouth. They have players forward, they just can't find the passing lanes to get the ball to them. Really good defending. Space has opened up here, though. I was going to say Arthur Morgan there. Arthur Armstrong getting back in position to cover. Lewis Baker's given it away in midfield, though. And Bournemouth looking dangerous, trying to craft one final opportunity as we enter injury time. Cleared away from Kieran Trippier, though, and there is the referee's final whistle. I didn't anticipate it so soon. But the final whistle does go, and it's 2-1 Redmont Rangers in the end. So, a really good first half performance. 2-0 at half-time. A little bit shaky in the second half there. We could have made that far more comfortable for ourselves. Caleb Taylor, potentially man of the match today. Defended very well. And he got forward. He had a hand in the first goal that we scored. Lifting the ball up towards Josh Key. And our 2 strikers on the score sheet today. Josh Sargent and then Dane Scarlett just before half-time. So 3 points in an important game. One that could well be decisive come the end of the season. You know, the end of the season is a long way away, but we might look back on this result come the end of the season and think those were a really, really important 3 points. So, certainly glad to be on the winning side of things today.
Thanks so much for your time.
Couple more games to get to in this episode, though. The next of which is Burton Albion away in the Carabao Cup. So we are going to have to rotate the squad fairly significantly for this game. I think we'll go back. Let's actually go with a 4-3-3 for this game. Petit and Clark. Tavide is going to get his first start up front. O'Hora can come into the back line. And Armstrong can continue there. Trippier can start at right back. And Burke Risa can actually play at left back. He's returning from injury. This will be the first game that he's played since he picked up that injury. Garbett Baker and Lowry in midfield seems fine. Atkinson can certainly make the bench. And I think other than that, it looks good. Could do with an additional centre midfielder in Caceres. And we will start Nathan Baxter in goal. So that'll be the side for Burton Albion. Risa is available again. And he does want to play. O'Hora wants to play. He's in the side. Alex Lowry wants to play. He's also in the side. So Burton going to line up in a 5-2-3, is that? Or a 4-3-3? I can't quite tell which position that central player White is picking up there. I mean, I guess if I click on it, I can find out. It is a 5-2-3. Bit deeper there without the goalkeeper's head in the way. Not too fussed about the Carabao Cup, to be honest, so don't really care what this result is. I would expect a win, and it is a win. Lewis Baker scoring late on to secure the victory and to send us through to the next round. So a cup run, even in the Carabao Cup, wouldn't be the worst thing.
Some questions regarding the match.
So I'd obviously rather a win than a draw or a loss. But I'm not too fussed about the Carabao Cup at all. And in fact, I'd probably rather a loss than a draw. Just to get the fixture out of the way. We don't want a replay or anything like that. I don't think it goes to a replay actually in the Carabao Cup, does it? I think it goes straight to extra time or maybe even straight to penalties even in the Carabao Cup early stages. Yeah, I think it goes straight to penalties thinking about it. So, one last game against West Ham this time. To quick sim. Can we play Burke Risa? Not really. So, we do have games in quick succession in this episode, which is going to make it a little bit tough to field a fully fit starting 11 for each of these games. So, we might just have to kind of put out whatever we can in this one. I think I will bring Burke Risa back in. He is fitter than... I'm going to put in O'Hora. O'Hora's the fittest of the three. And he's the player that I would least like to start the next game. I'd like Risa to come back in for the next game. So let's rest him completely for this one. Atkinson again can make the bench. It doesn't look like he played in the last game. And if he did, he didn't play very much. So this will be the team for the last game of the episode that we will quick sim against West Ham. It's going to be another Premier League game, obviously. West Ham only on 2 points this season. They must be right down at the bottom of the table, and they are rock bottom. Don't have a win yet. Neither do Liverpool. Liverpool and West Ham both on 2 points, whilst we sit in mid-table in 9th position. Still going to be a tough game, though, I would imagine, especially in simulation. So let's take a look at West Ham's team. They have Navas, Curtis, Casey, Esri Konza, Amraoui at left back. They got Vifer, Kadlec, Kadua, Kudus, Fornals, and Jutgla up front. So a number of players I don't really recognise. Doesn't look like a particularly strong team. Just on name recognition. I obviously don't know their overalls. But let's see what we can do here against West Ham. Not the strongest team for a club as big as West Ham. So, and we do actually come away with a 3-1 victory. A huge performance at Redmont Arena. So Curtis gets on the score sheet first. But Josh Sargent, Caceres does score his first goal for Redmont in this episode. And then Alex Petit late on secures the victory. 3-1. What a massive episode this has been. 3 straight victories. 2 in the league, 1 in the Carabao Cup.
Hi, just a couple of questions for you.
Fantastic episode. So I wonder where we're going to be in the table now then. We must be up towards a European place.
Thank you.
In our first season in the Premier League. I must say I was not expecting that. We are up to 5th in the Premier League in a Europa League spot. Of course, we are only 7 games in. We have had a fairly easy start to the season as well. Fixtures are going to get more difficult. Not necessarily in the next episode, with a fixture against Brentford being the first that we might come across. Let's have a look at these youth players before we close the episode. I can't remember if I've shown you guys who we have in our youth academy at this point. I think maybe I did in the last episode or the episode before that. Wouldn't hurt to have another quick look though. If there is anybody half decent here to add, which right now it's not looking like there is. So unless we've got somebody... Owen Dalton looks half decent. He's only got 86 potential at the moment, but he is worth 700,000. Fairly pacey, good passing. He's worth taking a look at least. We don't need to sign him to the main squad, obviously. Alexander Welsh has got higher potential. He's not worth quite as much, so he's not going to be as high in overall right now, but he doesn't mean he couldn't end up a higher overall. Adam Cook's worth adding as well, just because we've got space in the youth academy at the moment. So let's take a look at that before we finish the episode here. So we have a goalkeeper, Adam Cook, 6'4", 75 to 94 potential. Looks decent, but he's got a long way to go. Only 16 years old. So we'll see how he progresses this year. Billy Williams, 6'4" centre-back. Low potential, 57 overall at 17 years old. So probably not looking like a player that will end up playing for the Redmont Rangers first team. Jake Walters is a player we like the look of though. Currently on the right wing back development plan, and he might even be able to... No, he's not quite there yet. But he's going to make that transition. Only 0 to 1 play styles is a little underwhelming, but he does have already high attacking work rate, decent pace, defending, physical. Looks like a good athlete, even if he is only 5'7". Nathan Dickinson just looks fine. 58 overall at 15 is not the worst. Could have up to 4 play styles. Good weak foot as well. 2 to 5 play styles for Alexander Welsh, who was a player that we just added. 58 overall at 17 years old. Up to a 94 potential. 72 pace is good right off the bat. And he very much does look like a winger. I don't think he's a player that we'd look to change positions. But he looks good. High attack and work rate. 2 to 5 play styles. I think he is one to keep an eye on. And then Owen Dalton was the other guy we just added. 5-star, 5-star. With 65 pace, 68 passing, 63 dribbling. He's a centre forward at the moment. I would like him as a centre midfielder. And it would only take 17 weeks. So we're going to make that change. And we'll see what his overall changes to when we move him to centre midfield. But 16 years old, 61 overall. 0 to 3 playstyles is again underwhelming. But he looks half decent as well. So there are a couple of players to keep an eye on there. So one last look at the table before we finish up here. We do sit in 5th place, 13 points, 5 points off Spurs in first position there, and a point off a handful of teams in 2nd, 3rd and 4th in Leeds, Manchester City and Newcastle United respectively. In terms of fixtures in the next episode, we've already seen that we have Brentford. We also have Liverpool at home and we have Aston Villa away. So a handful of good fixtures to choose from in the next episode. Right now, the Liverpool fixture jumps out at me as the one that we might play just because we're hosting big opposition at Redmont Arena. Might give us a chance to kind of redeem ourselves a little bit after that really poor performance against Manchester United as well. So that probably is going to be the one that we take on in full, and we will quick sim the other two. But we will look forward to that in the next episode. As always, I hope to see you there. Take it easy.